Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds, and in this video, I wanted to share with you why I even have this YouTube channel. Why do I teach people about property investment? Why do I write books? Why do I run courses? And I wanted to really share and have a little heart to heart and just share what my agenda is, what my motivation is. And the reason I'm doing this is because when I was about 17, 18 years old, I can remember when I started going to courses, reading books like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and thinking, if Robert Kiyosaki was so successful and if he was financially free and doesn't have to work, what's his motivation for writing a book teaching others? I couldn't understand it. And I used to go to seminars and look at the person on stage and think, if you're financially free and you don't have to work, why are you on stage giving up your time sharing? I didn't really understand it. It was just a little niggle that used to go on at the back of my head. And now, fast forward 12 years, I'm 30 years old and I run one of the largest property education companies. I have a YouTube channel. I put out videos every day. So I just figured if you're anything like I was, or if you're anything like me, maybe sometimes you think, what is Samuel's motivation? So on this video, I wanted to share and reveal and just open up and explain why. So the first thing I want to say is, I used to think that when I became financially free, I would just want to lie on a beach and not have to do anything ever again. However, hand on heart, there is nothing more boring, mind-numbing and unfulfilling than just retiring. I remember when me and Amanda had our first child, Ruby Joy Leeds, and I took 6 months off work, and at the end of the 6 months, I was so bored and unfulfilled, and I just lost my umph, and Amanda was saying to me, you need to get out of the house. So one of the reasons is that when you are financially free, it doesn't mean that you're just not going to do anything. It doesn't mean that you're going to just be at home, be on a beach, be on holiday all the time, because that is actually quite boring. So one of the reasons that I teach is because I actually really enjoy it. I love writing. I find it fulfilling. When I see people succeed, when I see people win as a result of my teaching, for me, that's part of my legacy. So that's the first reason. The second reason that I teach is because I make a lot of friends. I do a lot of joint venture, I do a lot of business, and I make a lot of friendships. Success, you might think that when you become successful, everybody wants to be your friend, and all your old school friends are gonna crawl out the woodworks and be like, man, let's buy a round. You're gonna get all the ladies. I mean, I'm married now, I've been married 6 years anyway. But actually, I can only speak from my experience, and in Britain, certainly, I think the more successful you get, actually, the more lonely you get. I think that's fair to say from my experience. When you're running a company, I run a company. Right now, we've got about 31 members of staff. My employees will go out for lunch together. They're all friends. But me, because I'm the owner of the company, there's a certain level of loneliness to that. And that's just not the case in the company. If you're a property investor, if you become financially free and you leave your job, everyone wants to leave their job. But when you actually do leave your job, everybody else is working. Your friends, your family, your ex-schoolmates. And the more money you make and the more successful, you actually alienate yourself from other people, and it does become really lonely. So the second reason I teach is because not only do I enjoy it, but also the friends that I make from training. Most of my best friends, like Ricky, for instance, Alistair, all my friends were my students. They become successful, they leave their jobs, they become financially free, and then they become my friend. So the second reason that I teach is because it's really not just fulfilling, but on a social level, on a connecting level with people. I actually find it really rewarding and it makes me feel less lonely. So that's another reason that I teach. Third reason that I teach is because And I know what some of you are thinking. Some of you are thinking, Samuel, when are you going to get to the money part? I'll get to the money part. I'll talk about the money because some of my training is advanced, and I'm going to talk about that in a moment. But the third reason I teach is because when I started out in property investing, a lot of people, a lot of trainers and mentors were so boring. In my opinion, I've got ADHD. I'm dyslexic. When I was at school, my teachers, when I left school, I'd be chatting to people, they'd make it so complicated. And then when I'd finally understand it, I'd think, why don't you just explain it like this? And I do feel like I've got a gift of communication. And a lot of people would speak in riddles that make it look really complicated to make themselves look smart, or maybe to deliberately stop people doing it. And I think that complexity is the thief of execution. And when I was like 18, 19, 20, and as I was learning, I remember just thinking, man, when I become successful, I just want to teach, I want to share. I feel like it's my duty. In terms of finance and money, do I get paid well to be a trainer? Do I get paid a lot to be a YouTuber? So I'll put the facts on the table. I mean, for my YouTube channel doesn't really make any money at all. I don't have sponsors hardly on the channel. Very rarely do I have ads on the channel. So I think in total over the last 6 years of doing YouTube, I've maybe made about £4,000. So the YouTube and the books and all that stuff doesn't really make a lot of money at all. My advanced training courses, some of them do cost thousands of pounds. I think if you do all of my property investment training, you do it as part of the Academy bundle, it comes down to about £12,000, which you might think, wow, that's a lot of money. And I have had hundreds of Academy members that you've seen on Winners on a Wednesday. However, my training company has lost money more years than made money. So it's not as profitable as a lot of people would think. And that's just because of the resources that I put into it. So when you join the advanced training, the support, the mentoring, all of the resources, the hotels, everything, it costs a lot of money. So in actual terms of profit, it's not as profitable as some might think. However, hey, if it was, I think that would be a really good thing. I don't think there'd be anything wrong with if you're offering a good service, and I think getting paid well would be perfectly fine. As it happens, I don't take a salary even from the training company. Sometimes it loses money, sometimes it makes a little money, but usually I reinvest that back into the business to provide a better service to my clients. So the money side of things isn't a big motivator for me. In fact, my property business even, I am motivated by making money, don't get me wrong. I've got a lot of property developments going on. We're buying pieces of land, getting planning permission, and I'm excited by the profits. But more than anything, I'm 30 years old, I've been in the game 12 years, I've made millions of pounds, and you can check my records out on Company House if you're skeptical. A lot of people say, prove this, and I really haven't got much to prove. But I think for me, more than getting excited about making money, it's more about, for me, lifestyle and living the life that I really enjoy, living a life that's fulfilling, pulling people up. Most of my family members are now very successful in property. A lot of my best friends are. I love my life. I love my family. And for me, if I had to summarize in one word why I do YouTube videos, why I have a training company, in one word, there's lots of other things, but one word would be fulfillment. Fulfillment, satisfaction, life mission, legacy. I know I'm not going to be remembered for making a load of money. A lot of people are a lot richer than I am, but I will be remembered for the people that I helped. And do trainers, property trainers, educators have a duty and obligation and responsibility? Absolutely. In fact, some people say they think that the training industry should be regulated and it should have more legislation to stop the cowboys. Do you know what? I would campaign for that. I think that's absolutely right. I didn't teach a single property investment course. I didn't even register my training company until first I was a millionaire. And I became a millionaire from property investment and property deal sourcing. And I think that in 2021, everybody's an expert. Someone will do one deal or make a little bit of money in Bitcoin, and then suddenly they're an expert and they set up a YouTube channel, and that's fine. But I think to teach something, I think to run a training business, I really feel it has a lot of responsibility. I think you should have been in the industry at least 5 years. I think you should have a good proven track record. If you're going to run a training business, it comes with a lot of headaches, it comes with a lot of responsibilities. You need staff, customer service, complaints procedures, you need insurance. You need to make sure that you're covered, protected. You need to make sure that you're there for your students, come what may. And as a company, I'm really proud of our results. I'm really proud of every single Winners on a Wednesday, every single student that we have. I'm not perfect, my company's not perfect, but that is why I am a trainer. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.